We're Team USA, gathered from all across America. And we're gonna stick together. You know why?
Because we are ducks, and ducks fly together.
That's right, Jan. And just when you think they're about to break apart, ducks fly together!
And when the wind blows hard and the sky is black,
ducks fly together!
And when the roosters are crowing and the cows are spinning circles in the pasture,
okay,
ducks fly together!
And when everyone says it can't be done, ducks fly together.
You're listening to Foundations for Founders, a podcast about startups and life and everything in between. Hey everybody, welcome to another edition of Foundations for Founders. I'm Dan in Post Falls.
I'm Angel in Seattle, Washington.
And that is our second opening. A little bit of a technical snafu, but
Second one.
Mm-hmm. Judgment Day of openings, if you will.
Sure,
why not? Or D2, Mighty Ducks 2, I don't know.
Okay.
Some sort of sequel.
Flying V? Yeah, it's a sequel of some variant.
Well, ducks fly together, man.
That's true. Knuckle puck or not.
Oh, man. Or the Bash Brothers, who is now Daredevil's buddy. If you haven't seen the Daredevil show yet.
I have not.
Yeah, one of the Bash Brothers is Daredevil's buddy in that show.
Excellent. He's moving up.
Moving on up? Never mind.
It's true.
I'm just going to plague myself with horrible pop culture references. But, dude, how was your week, man?
Disney to CW maybe moving on up? I don't know.
No, I
don't really know if that's up. Week has been nutty. Work is bizarrely stressful. There's a lot going on. There's a lot of sensitive information about changes and stuff I can't get into that's going on. Yeah, tons. And then it's only going to get worse this week. So looking forward to that. And then what else outside of that? Yesterday didn't do much. Had a little barbecue.
Nice.
And all that. Yeah. Today I spent the entire day helping a friend rebuild his motorcycle. It took way longer than anticipated, as all things mechanical usually take longer than anticipated. But here we are, man.
So I gotta ask.
All of a sudden I'm going right back to work. So yeah.
Well, I've got to ask, because pretty much everybody's got their own barbecuing techniques.
Yeah.
Do you have any secrets, anything you want to divulge to the Founder Nation?
It kind of interesting. Recently, I was a friend of mine showed me, instead of using lighter fluid for charcoal barbecues, you put them in this like a chimney tube and then put paper underneath them.
Oh, I've seen those.
Yeah, and it like heats them up like wicked fast, and they're like ready to go right away. So that's pretty cool. I don't have one yet, but I'm looking. And I don't know. I usually let them incinerate really, really hot. I can get the grill up to like 700, 750, and then I'll spread them out. So I usually use smaller piles of charcoal, and then spread them out and slow cook evenly. That's about it. The rest is in the timing and the spices, and that is all variant on whatever type of meat you're cooking.
Right on.
Because I eat tasty critters. That's what I do.
I know you do. I know you do.
That's my technique, is to actually eat foods that you don't eat.
See, you always go into it, even before I can get into it.
I know. It begs the question. Barbecue techniques. What am I going to barbecue? Bread? I can't barbecue bread.
I could do some delicious veggie kebabs.
Yeah.
It's pretty good.
Oh, I don't doubt that. But I would probably, put some cube steak on the end of your veggie kebabs.
I'm sure you would, or some sort of pork, or...
Yeah, of course. Anything, yeah.
Pig is a tasty animal.
It's factually correct. Yeah, that's about it for me, dude. Like this week and weekend, just the week was long, the weekend flew by. It's as it is right now, it is 8:59 p.m. Pacific Standard Time on May 10th, 2015. And that means I got to get up early and go back to work tomorrow.
Nice.
Yeah.
And by nice, I mean not at all.
Yeah, not so much.
Yeah.
But how was your week? It's Mother's Day, and that's a tough time for both of us.
That is a tough time for both of us. Do we want to devote? Well, sure, why not?
Yeah.
Both of our mothers have passed away in recent years, so it's both hard for us. But I did get to spend some time with my family. Got to hang out with the nephews. Introduced the 3-year-old and 2-year-old to a kite. So.
Oh, awesome.
So that was
That'd
fun.
be great fun.
It was until we realized power lines run down the street because nobody had ever noticed them before.
Oh, you didn't take them like out into a field somewhere? It was just like, let's do this?
No, we were at my dad's house thinking, this will be fine. And then we look up and we're like, oh, look, power lines.
Mm-hmm.
So
nobody got hurt?
Nobody got hurt. We just decided maybe kites are not for us today.
Yeah, there you go.
And the 3-year-old thought the point of a kite was to get it up a little bit and then try to catch it.
Oh, sure.
So he had tons of fun with that, and that was fine because no power lines were in danger at that point. So
excellent.
Yeah. So it was good. It was good. A lot of fun. Been doing a few things for the champ. I have not even had the chance to tell you yet. Been so busy. Finally got the first rough draft of those paper cube dolls I was telling you about.
Yep.
So I'll have to forward you the PDF later, but
excellent.
It looks really cool. We are a co-sponsor of the Lilac City Comic Con in Spokane, Washington.
There you
go. So what that means is we get to put stuff on the giveaway table, and so instead of having a flyer or whatever about Haggle Champ, thought it would be cool to have those paper cube dolls, the little 3D ones that you can cut out and fold.
Oh yeah.
And so it'll be our little luchador mascot. Of course, a little bit about the champ and what we do, but overall, it's just a free gift for people attending the con. So it should be fun.
There you have it, nation. If you want to meet the man in the studio on the east side, that's where you can find him. When is the Comic-Con?
May 30th.
Is it taking place? May
30th at the Spokane Convention Center, I believe.
There you go.
But yeah, it should be tons of fun.
Spokane, Washington.
Absolutely. So, should probably get into some of these stories.
Yeah, let's do it.
All right.
Let's talk stories. Let's talk about it.
So
let's get together and talk about it.
A little powwow.
Yeah. Little whatnot.
Stories by the campfire,
yeah,
stuff like that. Yeah.
Shooting the breeze. Just shooting it.
So the first story comes from BusinessInsider.com.
Yeah, lock and load.
Headline reads, 210 Zappos employees, roughly 14% of the staff, take buyouts after CEO's ultimatum to embrace self-management or leave.
Yeah.
So
weird.
Yeah, Zappos, the Amazon-owned online retailer, confirmed with the Las Vegas Sun that 210 of its 1,503 employees, nearly 14% of the employees, took a buyout deal after its CEO, Tony Hischel, I can never pronounce his last name.
Hischel, yeah,
whatever.
That's fair.
Yeah, sure.
I'm not even going to try.
Yeah, basically the company has announced that it is completely ridding itself of manager roles and job titles.
Yeah.
The company has kind of been going.
That's hard to put that on your resume without a job title.
That's one thing I thought of too.
What did you do there?
I was there.
Stuff.
Right.
What was your official role? I wasn't allowed to have one. They took it away.
Yeah. So he says, basically in the Zappos blog, having one foot in the world and having another foot in the other world has slowed down our transformation towards self-management and self-organization. Mm-hmm. So basically what they're doing is they are going to what they call a halocracy method, where you basically just run yourself. So
yeah, holacracy.
Holacracy, yeah.
Yep.
So no managers, no nothing. You just kind of do what you're supposed to do, and that's about it.
Mm-hmm.
He even sent out an email with a book recommendation that he wants everybody to read called Reinventing Organizations.
And that's what was weird, is the delivery of that in that memo.
Right?
Yeah. So, in order to get their severance, right? This is from this story here, and it'll be in the show notes. Employees had to be in good standing with the company. They were asked to indicate by email that they had read the management book Reinventing Organizations and disagreed with its manager-free vision,
mm-hmm.
or state that they were not reading it. According to the book's author, Frederick Laloux, about 600 to 700 employees downloaded a free ebook version that was linked to the CEO's email out to them.
Mm-hmm.
So, and it goes on and states, the kind of oddity behind all of this and stuff. John Bunch, technical advisor at Zappos, so apparently they didn't take his job title.
At
And
least for
leader of
now.
the Holacracy transition pointed out to Business Insider shortly before the April 30th deadline that the memo's severance package offer raised many questions among employees about what the company's future looked like, and that those questions still existed. Yeah, I'd say that's pretty much what I would be questioning.
It's
Because
kinda,
why?
well, and it's funny because Tony still has his title as CEO.
Sure.
So, I mean, I believe a lot of leading by example. So if he's gonna do this, shouldn't he just be like, "Hey, I work at Zappos and I talk for them"?
And maybe he does. I don't know, but that's such a
Maybe.
weird thing because, you know, they're gonna paint this as 14% of the company didn't buy into the vision. The vision doesn't have any backbone, really. I mean, I would have to then read the book to understand where they're truly going with this.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, I understand holacracy is an idea, and in practice, I don't know where that's ever worked in corporate culture before. But it begs the question, I guess, if Amazon's going to step in with their partnership agreement in more of a leadership perspective for Zappos. So
Yeah, and maybe this is their experiment for Amazon. I mean, if they own them, maybe they just see Zappos as the lab rat, more or less. Let's see how this works, and if it works great, then awesome, we'll bring it to the mothership at Amazon. But if not, well, that was a fun experiment.
yeah, I don't know. I mean, from what I understand, and Amazon is kind of our neighbor in Seattle,
Right.
with what I do, and they have a lot of individual contributor roles that kind of work remotely and back and forth in field and stuff like that. And so I mean, not to this degree, right, where it's no job title, none of that, but it just seems very, I don't know, vapid, I guess, and trendy. I don't know. I mean, maybe I just don't understand it holistically, I guess, but just, yeah, I don't know. This is kind of a weird one. But they lost 14% of the company for it. So, you know, let's see how they rebound with that. And, I'm sure there's going to be a lot of millennials that are excited to try that out with Zappos and see if that vision and approach is for them.
I mean, I hope it works out for them, but it's vastly different from corporate structure or regular corporate structure.
Yeah,
So.
I agree.
All right, well, let's get to our next story, and we actually have a two-shot from CNET. So this first story, cnet.com,
Mm-hmm.
4 things you should know about Freightliner's self-driving trucks.
A double shot of CNET articles.
A double shot of CNET, yes.
We're getting drunk on CNET.
So according to CNET,
Mm-hmm.
self-driving trucks are debuting this week,
Excellent.
becoming the first of its kind to receive autonomous licenses for use on public roads. So if you look at the picture on this article, it looks like Optimus Prime.
It does. It looks like something from a Back to the Future they haven't made yet.
Yeah, no kidding. It's like Daft Punk's Transformers. Kind of, actually, now that I think about that. Or Tron Transformers. But, yeah, they're going to have self-driving commercial trucks. The idea is these trucks can go into an autopilot mode, so there will be a driver there.
Yes.
But basically the driver can just let the truck take the wheel, good buddy, and
Oh, yeah.
just kind of just relax and read the paper or whatever.
Freightliner, take the wheel.
Yeah.
Frightening.
I am horrified by this.
Frightening. Yeah, now of course there's going to be a unquote pilot in there because I don't think there's a state in this fine country today that would license, a full autonomous machine to be on the streets without somebody having, emergency control over it. You know what I mean?
I would agree with that, yeah.
The video was kind of cool. There's an associated video with this article. I encourage that the Founder Nation check that out. But no way, dude. No way do I trust this at all. And that comes from all 3 perspectives. Riding a motorcycle, driving a car, and being a pedestrian from time to time.
Right?
I'm not loving it.
One of their key selling points, and I love this, is that it could be better fuel economy because it's not constantly doesn't get impatient with traffic, prefers to maintain a safe following distance.
God, this sounds like a profile for like a dating site.
Yes.
Get impatient with traffic. Likes long drives on the coastline.
Mm-hmm.
This is bizarre.
It'll let you take the wheel when you want to.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. It's just.
Now, am I excited that we're moving in a direction like this? Yes. I think it is kind of cool that we're closer and closer to the George Jetson lifestyle of the briefcase car.
Okay, well, let me ask you this.
In real time, that's terrifying on the road.
Right? Well, okay, let me ask you this, though, Angel.
Mm-hmm.
Would you rather that the truck can drive itself like this one can,
mm-hmm.
or if we had some sort of android, robot, artificial intelligence driving the truck?
So artificial intelligence, absolutely not. I think we're really comparing apples to other versions of different colored apples when it comes to a truck that drives itself or a robot behind the wheel.
Right.
So I don't really see much of a difference there. I could go on forever on the AI thing, so I'm just going to leave that one alone.
Okay, fair enough.
No, I mean, like, the first beta car that drives itself completely that I saw maybe a handful of years ago was Google seems to have a lot of money to throw around at ideas like that, and they put together the craziest looking Toyota Prius, and it was all wired up and controlled through maps and sensors and cameras and things like that. And then I kind of chuckled because the operating system they used to power the brain of this thing was a Windows-based operating system.
Right.
And the reason it struck me as not great that day was because I had a blue screen of death on one of my Windows machines.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, what happens when that does that in the car, right? Like, and it just has to reboot and load some files. And what happens if the car is in motion? I don't see that being joyful.
Clippy comes out and helps you.
I'm going to say nay to both of those in your example.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, to me it's computer's a computer's a computer. So.
Fair enough. All right. So, sorry. Hold on.
You okay?
Oh yeah, I'd eaten some wasabi peas earlier, and just for whatever reason, they just now affected me.
Yeah, that'll do it.
Yeah.
Every time. It's that vegan lifestyle, man. It's gonna get you.
Yeah, that's what's gonna get me.
Coughing sprees. You have no idea.
All right. So the next story from cnet.com comes. The headline is: nearly half of Tinder users are already with someone, says study.
Sure.
So essentially, a study was done by Global Web Index.
Global Web Index, yep.
And what they found was a lot of people on Tinder tend to already have somebody. So let's see, where does it say? About 30% of Tinder users are married. Another 12% are already in a relationship. So that's about 42%. So it's not quite half, but nearly half, 42%, have somebody else. And they're still swiping right, swiping left.
Yeah. It's a
Yeah.
hookup site, right? I mean,
basically,
I know that they don't like to tout themselves as such, but
they don't. But you know.
I love the counter argument. I'm trying to find it in this article because it's kind of hilarious.
Mm-hmm.
Where they talk to Rosette Pimbakian.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, about this particular study, and she quotes. The results of this tiny 681-person study in the UK is totally inaccurate depiction of Tinder's user base. This firm is making guesses without having any access to real data on our millions of users worldwide, end quote. So they pose the question, well, which is the truth, right? Like, is it this micro study in the UK or is it, whatever? The single largest age group on Tinder, she goes on to quote, making up more than half of our entire user base is 18 to 24 years old, and 93+% of them have never been married, according to the UK's Office of National Statistics. Okay, well, I guess that paints a picture of the 681 people that they polled or whatever, but it kind of makes you wonder, what type of audience? Was this at random? Like, where did Global Web Index decide to drop the hammer on this little micro study for Tinder? The end of the article is kind of great, though. Pembakian, however, believes that Global Web Index is to be as unreliable as an online date who doesn't turn up, she said. Their methodology seems severely and fundamentally flawed, end quote. The article author goes on to say, as do some of the people you meet through Tinder, I'm told. Yeah. How about that?
That's awesome.
Because you don't really know, right? Like, I've never used this site. I don't know much about it, but I understand the crux is that you just get fed all these profile pictures based on whatever they base it on to index, a possible mate situation.
It's not even that.
It's just randomized then?
It's
and then
just
you either,
pictures of people near you.
Yeah, you swipe one way and swipe the other.
I think it's left means you reject them and right means you're into them.
Awesome.
And if they had swiped right on you as well, then it lets you know, hey, you're a match, and you can talk to each other.
This would be fun. Would it tell you how many times you were swiped left on where people didn't want to match up with you?
Oh, I feel like that would be heartbreaking for people.
Yeah, that's why it's because of that possibility I don't think I would ever want to see the analytics and thus would probably never use that website. However, I think that functionality is great if they were to import that into Facebook. Here's why. I'm tired of news feeds that have nothing to do with what I want to see, which is primarily why I don't like the website very much. And if it's just friends of mine with a catalog of baby pictures, yeah, I'm going to swipe the other way on that. I'm going to get rid of that. Because how many times can you photograph the child on one day? It's like, they look kind of the same from both sides, and it's a kid. It's a kid. Throw one up there, throw a family photo up there, but, like, some of my friends get kind of wild with it, dude.
Right.
Like, and I don't have any kids, but, I mean,
I don't either.
To the tune of, like, 30 or 40 pictures posted one after another. It's just body blow, headshot. You know what I mean?
Right.
This is hilarious. Now I kind of want to download Tinder just to noodle around with it, but I know that I will somehow be disappointed.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
I'm not sure, especially if – because they keep analytics on how many times your profile was
Oh, you know they have
right
it.
or
You
left
know
on.
they have it.
Yeah,
they just don't release it.
They don't want bots and, I mean, other things like that is probably how they would frame it, but –
I know that companies are using it for marketing now. I remember reading about a rapper that was doing a deal that if you swiped right, I guess, you could then watch his music video.
Wow, and then also hook up with him, or?
No, just to watch his video.
So what is unlocked? I understand if two people swipe the friendly swipe on one another, then it unlocks the ability for them to chat back and forth?
Correct.
Is that all it does?
That's all it does.
Doesn't, like, give you details about them or where they live or anything crazy?
No, I know it's proximity based, so I think it tells you how far away they are, but like based off the phone GPS, not by their, I live here.
Oh, creepy. What if they're like sitting on a park bench, dude?
That would be freaky.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's weird, man. It's just,
I'd say. So what do you think about the study? I mean, do you think this is just
I'm surprised the numbers aren't higher.
Yeah.
Do
you think it matters from a business perspective for these people? Other than the possible negative press of being told, hey, you're catering to people that want to cheat on one. It's not really their fault.
It's not their fault. I mean, they're not
It's
Ashley Madison who flat out says what they're doing.
Right. It's very, I don't know. It's very ambiguous, though.
Yeah.
If that's all it does, to me, it's very ambiguous and sets up a lot of scary situations for people that are looking to meet other people, I guess.
Yeah. It's just so weird. It's just so weird. I don't know. I feel like there's better ways to meet people other than, hey, your picture's cute.
Yeah. So, I mean, most of the other ones have, like, matches based on something about you, right?
Off like,
I don't know, common interest or psychology profile.
Because what was the first real big one was
Match, wasn't it?
No, it was I want to say, well, it might have been, but the first one I remember hearing about was the guy that does the commercials, the old guy with the glasses.
Oh, eHarmony.
eHarmony, right.
Yeah.
I know they've been around for a minute, but they actually have
like the Colonel Sanders of dating.
Yeah, for sure. You know, he's got 11 blends of herbs and spices for people to meet and fall in love with.
Of herbs and spices of sexy.
Yeah, of success.
They're
success herbs. I could tell you where to buy them.
Success herbs.
Success herbs, yeah. For dating.
Well, you do live in Washington State, so that success herb could mean something completely different.
Yeah. Well, for successful, all right. Anyway, herbs and spices. So yeah, the Colonel Sanders of dating guy. But they run algorithms based on your profile to find you a match, right? Like it's not just, you don't just like, hey, that person's cute, and then throw a dart and hope that they like swipe back on you. I don't know.
Yeah, and that's it. That's all it is. It's just like, hey, you're cute. Oh, well, you're cute too, and that's it. I guess I'd have to download
it for research now, because it would have to tell you how many times people swiped right on you, and so you could see their picture and swipe back. Correct?
I don't think it does.
It's just, how does that work? Like, so location-based.
Hold on, I am downloading it right now.
Millions and millions and millions of people, let's say, are on this thing, and you just randomly come across the same photograph from end user to end user. That makes no sense.
That's how it does it.
It would have to tell you.
I'm
hey,
looking at what it says.
You got to swipe back on them or swipe the other way, right?
Right. That's it.
So then it should have the same functionality to tell you how many times you've been swiped where people don't like your ass, and they're like, no.
Well, I think you would have to put pictures of your ass for them to like it.
It's possible, and I'm sure that happens.
I'm sure.
On that.
Dude, I don't know. I don't work there.
You're downloading it. We'll see.
Well, it's taking a minute.
Okay, that's fine.
It's installing.
I think we'll. What do you think? We'll go to a commercial break and we'll come back and complain about how we don't know how Tinder works.
Fair enough. Let's do that. Let's take a break and we'll come back with more trials and tribulations of Tinder.
We'll be right back.
Buying a used vehicle can be very stressful, but HaggleChamp.com makes it much easier. At HaggleChamp.com, all you have to do is tell us what make, model, and year that you're after, and we'll alert our dealer network. Our dealers will give you their offer, and you can declare your #1 contender. That's the offer you like the best so far. This then re-notifies the dealer network and encourages them to give you an even better deal. It's free to use, so head over to HaggleChamp.com. That's HaggleChamp.com.
Welcome back, Founder Nation. We're glad you're back with us. I'm Angel in Seattle. He's Dan in Post Falls.
I am.
I'm going to talk to you a little bit about how to get in touch with us, and that starts with email. That's electronic mail. You can send us an electronic mail at foundationsforfounders@gmail.com. You can also pester us on Twitter, FFF_nation. You can pester me personally on Twitter, Angel, what is it? It's Aspects21, right? Angel Aspects21 at Twitter. That's where you can find me. And he is at Dan Reyes, right?
That's right. That's it. At Dan Reyes.
It's always brought to you by HaggleChamp.com, where you can buy like a champ, save like a champ. And we're excited you're back. So, at the break, he was downloading Tinder. He created a shortcut on his cellular device, and it asked him if he wanted to sign in through Facebook.
So, I'm signed in. It's already popped up pictures for me.
Okay.
The first one...
Oh, so it takes your Facebook profile picture?
Yeah, I guess.
Okay.
All it does is tells you their name and their age.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. And if you click on the picture, like if you tap it, it tells you a little bit about the person. Oh, wow. And it also siphons their Instagram. So in front of me, I have Tori. She's 24.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently death before decaf. Left-handed.
There you go.
Powerlifting. Scorpio.
There you go.
Endless summer. Curly hair. That's all it says.
Wow. Welcome to the show, Tori.
Okay, so left means nope.
Okay.
And right means like.
Okay.
Okay.
So, question.
Yeah.
You have stuff on your Facebook profile about lifting weights, do you not?
I do.
Aha! Do you have anything on there about coffee?
I love coffee,
Okay.
but not decaf.
Wonder if there's a little more to this Tinder than meets the eye, as it's matching you based on a age range and similar interests, as you have openly shared with the World Wide Web on your Facebook profile. Yeah.
Maybe.
What's
Whatever.
next? Who's after Tori? What do we got? Let's see if
I've
there's a
got
pattern here.
Autumn. She's
Autumn.
25.
Okay.
Uh,
Hi, Autumn. Welcome
people
to the
call
show.
me Otto.
Okay. We're in
Okay.
the auto industry.
Maybe that's where that's coming from. I'm a professional dog trainer. I'm
okay.
independent, confident, and always like to be doing something.
Okay.
I'm a small town girl who would rather be at a bonfire in the woods than be busy in the city, but I can do city life too. Smiley face.
Sounds like a best friend in the making, doesn't it?
Yeah, kinda. I'm I don't understand what half her stuff means, so no.
Okay. Well,
Let's see. Laurel, 35, nothing.
Okay. Nothing at all.
It's just a picture that's really blurry.
Yeah. Now that is probably because what was this one? Was Laurel?
Yes.
That is probably because they signed in with just a Tinder profile and not a Facebook profile, so there's nothing to glean the information from. This is how I'm guessing it works. Like,
Probably.
we're going to look into this and figure it out. But another question too, and not reading anything into this, but just using it as an example. Like, how does it know to match you with women, right?
I think by default, so I clicked on Discovery Preferences.
Okay.
You
So,
can do-
but you do have to pick that, right?
Yeah.
I was like, that's
so-
a little unfair, I think. But,
Well, you can pick men, women, or both.
okay.
You
Oh,
can
well,
pick
there
your
you go. Okay,
you
so
can
it
pick
was
your
a
search-
filter then.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's a search distance. Mine
Yeah.
was preset to 50 miles.
Okay.
That seems excessive. I don't want to go that far. Let's go.
Gotta broaden your horizons, man.
All right, we'll go 30 miles. That's about it.
That's close to home. Or you could go to the park and meet these people.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe I'm just too old-fashioned, dude. I don't know.
I don't know. I'm putting my age gap. I don't know.
Well, we've lost one of our show co-hosts to Tinder. I will
Right?
continue on by saying,
I know. Let's
we have a discussion topic.
We do have a discussion topic. I'm getting rid of this. This thing
No,
seems
I
like
wanna-
a nightmare.
Yeah, it might be more trouble than it's worth. But
It totally
I
is.
honestly think if you signed in with Facebook, it's pulling some sort of match based on your likes and interests and things, right?
Yeah, probably.
Or like you'll know that's a fact if there's like movie buff after movie buff, right?
Right.
Yeah. I don't know. We'll look into it, Nation. We will keep you posted. In the meantime, we are going to talk about an interesting article from the Washington Post. And I said interesting this time instead of you. How crazy is that?
It's very interesting.
See?
You knew I was going to say that.
Titled, Millennials Want a Work-Life Balance. Their bosses just don't get why.
So this was like what I thought would be an awesome discussion topic because
Yeah.
a lot of us talk about having a work-life balance and what does that mean and what does that look like, I know both you and I, we have day jobs and then we have Haggle Champ, and so it feels like we never stop working.
It's true.
At least that's how it feels for me. I know it feels the same for you. So it's just constant, and I don't hate it. I don't, it doesn't bother me. But then again, I don't have a relationship and I don't have kids, and so I have time for this,
Yeah, it's I think even deeper than that, because those are parts of you that yes are part of your life, but are also commitments that you've made, right?
Right.
So, and you and I are in the same boat. But what bothers me about me most outside of work is that I don't know what to do. Like I do have some hobbies, and for no reason at all I can just go ride the motorbike somewhere if I wanted to do that, which is fun.
Mm-hmm.
But I always feel like I've wasted my time off unless I'm doing something, right? Like today was a prime example of helping my friend build his bike, on and on and on, where I could have just been relaxing or something like that. But I don't know, my mind works in a way that if I feel like I'm just sitting on the couch, unless I'm like sick, And you know what I mean? Like I should be doing something else and never really have anything to do unless I plan to go somewhere, which is often more work than it's worth.
Right.
So it's like, what is the balance for me? Because I don't even really know what I like to do for fun all the time. You know what I mean?
Right. I hear you.
Like, it seems, I don't know, maybe I'm just wired differently in that respect. But the framework for this article is kind of interesting because if you really tear it apart and kind of look in between the lines, they make a lot of references to, you know, the baby boomer generation being most of the executive level workforce positions now, and millennials wanting that individual contributor designation where they can, work from anywhere, work from home, from their laptops, on off hours, so that they can mold that around a more personalized lifestyle for them, where the boomers kind of look at it as a bunch of empty cubicles and like more of the old school FaceTime, right? Now,
Right.
I've talked at length about that, and I thought that was kind of an interesting parallel to my argument about, what is the finished product, the assembly line version versus the extremely iterative workflow of today's, workforce in our generation. And we're cuspers, right? Like we're right on Gen X millennial kind of thing, maybe a
Yeah,
year
somewhere in
inside.
there. Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, it is interesting as we have friends in our age range making these life commitments, and for lack of a more eloquent way of putting it, growing up, where you and I are just kind of you and I, right?
Right.
But I do think it is awesome because it frees us up to continually have the creative energy to put into Haggle Champ and move forward with these ideas and things like that. But even the team members that we have, Brian has a new baby and a wife, and he's got a lot of full-time commitments and things like that too.
Right.
But just the work-life balance part for me is kind of interesting they framed it that way. I don't know what you think about that.
I get the idea behind a work-life balance that, do you work to live or do you live to work,
Right.
Kind of that whole mentality. And I think this is just a new buzz term for the same issue that mankind has been dealing with since the dawn of time,
Yeah.
Do you go out in the field and plow and bring food for the family, or do you actually try to enjoy your family, or do you, find other pursuits? I think, too, in some respects, your work should bring some sort of fulfillment. And I don't know if that's what you do or having pride in your work.
I agree with you there. It's taken me a long, long time to get to that statement point, though, with the day job.
Right.
Right? Like, I absolutely enjoy the culture of the company I work for. I enjoy the benefits of the company I work for. There's a lot of things to enjoy there, but I have lost an awful lot of me time, social time, whatever, insert time away from work, being at work, refining my craft, the product, innovating, moving forward in the field that I move forward with, to position myself to be at a point where now it has become very enjoyable, but the last 2.5, 3 years was not very enjoyable. It was hard work. You know what I mean? And not to say I'm at a point where I can slack by any means, because that's not it, but to be in a position where I get to see the things that I've worked really hard on, empowering other people to get together and create a product and develop, what we're doing and build the infrastructure behind, big systematic changes within the organization, from an internal standpoint. It's cool. Like, it's really cool because I get to be on the forefront of creating these things, right? In a very collaborative effort. So it's taken me a hell of a long time, dude, to get to the point where, like, yes, I like the brand I work for and I like the perk benefits of being an employee, but enjoying what I do is finally starting to set in a little bit. So I think you're onto something there, and maybe it's different for everybody, right? Like, if you love motorcycles that much and you work in a bike shop, then, maybe that's it, because you're like, hey, I'm in a toy store and that's what I do for work and it's great. My brother's a prime example. He draws on people for a living, right?
Right.
It's like, how can you hate any part of that. Yeah, I don't. It's awesome. Like,
Right.
every minute of it is amazing. They pay me to tattoo them, and it's the best, you know. And each of these, it doesn't matter what field you're in, like, you're gonna have the struggles of work. You know what I mean? I really feel that. But to your point, I think it is a big difference in the way you look at your job and how you weigh the work-life balance a little bit based on how much you enjoy where you're at and what you're doing. You know what I mean? I have to be nice and say these great things about, you know, both my day job and Haggle Champ, because you are the CEO, and after all, if I naysay anything, I'm sure there will be a follow-up phone call to the show. So.
Such a liar right now. Such a liar right now. You totally would just tell me, like, hey, I don't like this right now.
Enjoy going to Comic-Con, sir.
Yeah, exactly. Right. You're welcome to come. Jeez.
Nah, you know, man. In all fairness, I did almost make it out to your neck of the woods this weekend. My dear friend Travis was writing back, and I was like, heck yeah, I can go with you, like right after work on Friday, kind of thing. Issue was I had made this commitment to help my friend put his bike together.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I was like, I can't really bail on that. You know what I mean?
It would have been fun to record a show in person.
I know, and we're gonna.
Yeah, we will.
I gotta head back that way very soon, to the tune of at some point in May, I think.
Oh, okay.
For sure. So I'll keep you apprised on that, as well as maybe the Founder Nation, and we can do a live set. We can do in studio for once.
It'd be awesome.
But I digress.
Right.
Back to work-life balance. How is your work-life balance? I mean, we know what I'm up against with day job and the champ.
I feel like
where is that line for you? Where is that median?
I tend to work a lot, but okay, so I think because of my news background, I'm really good at multitasking. So I can have one project I'm working on one screen and texting or calling about a second thing on another, while the third thing is still, you know, waiting to hear back on somebody else. So I'm good at all those things. So for me, like, I'm efficient when I need to be, and, you know, my work-life balance is if I can work out that day, I'm happy. And if that evening I can watch, you know, one of my favorite shows, I'm happy, and that's it. You know.
Yeah.
That's all I need, you know, right now. You know, maybe Tinder will change that, and I'll have to go out with girls. You know. But we're not there yet. You know, I've only swiped right on a couple.
There you go. He's really paying attention to that. I'm
right.
Sure
so ladies,
swiping away.
Right.
Right. The aforementioned guests that didn't know they were guests, you can
back.
swipe back.
Right.
You can find him on Twitter. So excerpt from this article, kind of cool. Wanting flexibility or work-life balance is the number one thing we hear all the time from candidates. It's the number one reason why people are looking for a new job by far, says Heidi Parsonot, who runs Torchlight, a recruiting firm in Alexandria. We're definitely seeing more candidates asking for it, but companies still see it as making an exception. It's not quite the norm. Ryan Shaw, 23 years old, is case in point. He doesn't have children, yet he rates work-life balance as not only important, but also necessary for success. Shaw does social media marketing for a startup in Los Angeles called Forcefield. He likes his job, but he did not like living in Los Angeles, where his expensive rent kept him from being able to pay down his astronomical student loans. Yeah. You can see LA is probably not the right city for you if you're doing that.
Right.
He had other job offers that had given him more money but demanded more work hours, right?
Okay.
He had a different idea. He told his boss that he would stay at the startup company, but only if he could do his job from his laptop wherever and whenever he wanted, and his boss agreed. So Shaw's moving back home to Florida. The narrative that's always drawn is that you have to choose financial success or personal success and having a life. To me, that's a false choice, Shaw said. I think you can have both, and I'm sort of playing the long game. I want to take care of my health and have deep relationships with people that I care about most, and not just the people who happen to be in the same building with me every day. Which is a very picture-perfect example of being an individual contributor and making it work, you know, media marketing is one of the jobs. I feel like you have a lot more freedom to do that. But this is painted that whole little sub-story is painted very much in how you put it as a buzzword, for sort of the same thing. Like I know that work-life balance is important, and I don't think I can really sway one way or the other, but as it relates to me personally, I'm still kind of defining that line. You know what I mean?
And I think that line is different for everybody.
Yeah, which makes the buzzword very complex.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So I don't know. I would like to be in a position where I could become an individual contributor, right?
Mm-hmm.
But also, I like the position that we all have because none of us live or work in the same office building for HaggleChamp.
Right.
It makes a few things extremely difficult.
It does.
But by and large, it's working very well.
Yeah, it is.
It really is. Yeah. What is it? Of the 5 founders, 2 of us live in out of state.
You and Scott.
Yep.
With his Haugs.
The Haugs.
Right. Scott and I had an interesting talk this weekend. It was pretty funny.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Does he listen to the show?
No. I asked him if he listened to his episode.
Uh-huh.
To which he said, and I'm gonna give my best possible Scott impression here. Why would I do that? I was on it.
His memory's a steel trap, sir. That's why.
That is exactly why.
Scott's your gem if you subscribe.
Oh man, yeah. Go back and listen to the Scott episode. It is amazing.
It's awesome. Yeah. Your dear friend Scott.
Has anyone asked you about that guy if he's for real? Cause
you know what I get asked about most?
What?
Honestly?
Yeah.
If I've tried a Camelchino.
Oh really?
That's factually correct. That was EP2, my friend.
I know. The Camelchinos.
That's the Wayback Machine. Yeah.
Man, we should order some of those. You know what?
I'm sure they would spoil by the time they get here.
Oh, I bet they got enough preservatives in them.
Oh, maybe.
If we can find them, we should order them, and then when we're in the studio together, drink them.
Okay. Enjoying a Camelchino?
Enjoying Camelchinos.
Yeah.
I imagine that's not vegan, but whatever.
Yeah, likely not.
Yeah, I had to at least taste it.
Yeah, I remember an episode where you had to get a burger, so...
A tasty burger.
Yeah, there's hope for you yet, sir.
There's hope for...
Okay, yeah, I kind of painted a negative connotation there. I'm sure I'm going to receive a lot of hate mail from vegans out there.
Oh, I'm sure, and so will I because I broke it.
Yeah, well, and it's cool if it's, a dietary restriction, if it's,
ethical.
Just what you want to do, if you're into the ethics behind it.
Mm-hmm.
That's great. Just know that I'm not a vegan.
I know you're not. I know you're not.
But I hear about it a lot.
You bring it up! I barely talked to you about it.
Work-life balance is hard when your boss is throwing veganism down your throat.
What do you... Oh, my God. You know what? When we finally have an office, I'm going to have like a barbecue, and it's all going to be vegan stuff, and you're going to hate it.
Yeah, the vegan room. Now, I actually want a break room.
Yeah.
But not where you go to take a break or eat a meal or enjoy yourself. I want it to be a room where you can put on safety goggles and grab a hammer and literally break shit. Like,
I've actually thought about that too.
Yeah, just the break room, just smashing stuff and causing
hard meeting or something. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that does sound awesome.
Break room.
I just want Dance Dance Revolution there.
Yeah, we could put DDR somewhere.
Oh, awesome. I'm good at it.
Get one of those.
That is my work-life balance. If I can play DDR, I'm happy.
Bingo.
Nice. Well, we should probably wrap it up.
Work-life balance means Dance Dance Revolution.
Maybe we should ask that to the Founder Nation. Let us know what your idea of work-life balance is.
Yeah, shoot us a line. You could drop us a line at foundationsforfounders@gmail.com. You can pester me personally at AngelAspects21 on the Twitterverse. We also have our show Twitter, FFF_Nation. And where are you at on Twitter?
At Dan Reyes.
At Dan Reyes. There you have it.
Very cool.
Yeah, that might just do it for this one.
I think it will. Well, thanks everybody for listening, and we'll see you next week.
Yeah.